I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes for questioning. Mr. Gibson, you said you got about 50 of the contracts that you did in the two-step process. How many did you not get? Without trying to be proprietary, give me a ballpark there.
Probably 300 or more.
So the numbers we say you could spend as much as 3,000. You get 3% of the cost in the design build. Where do you make up that money?
You have to receive awards, and you have to have a profit margin that supports the general overhead of pursuing.
So would it be a fair statement that if you weren't competing against so many people, you had a higher chance of getting them, you would actually be able to offer these projects to the government at a lower cost?
That's true.
All right. So why does it cost so much to compete for these projects?
In the one-step option, the technical submission requirements generally involve a percentage of design.
Right.
My firm uses out-of-house designers, so I have a lot of good design partners who are members of AIA, and I get a lot of feedback from these partners, and their expenditures are significant. Not only their firm's expenditures, but the sub-consultants they bring in, like mechanical designers, electrical designers. Everybody incurs cost answering the questions that are necessary to respond to the technical qualifications.
So is there additional reforms that could be had in how that is done that would save money on both the one or the two-step process?
I think the real savings would be in minimizing the one step. I do sympathize with the agencies. They have to get a feel for what the design build team's proposal requires technically, and we do see a lot of streamlining in the agencies in what they do require. For example, when I first got into design build competition, there was a lot of drawings that were required for submission. Most agencies are trying that when they can accept a narrative to explain design, they take that option rather than requiring a lot of drawings. That always helps our design partners minimize their expense.
And let me ask Mr. DeLuge, from an architectural standpoint, I assume there's, Mr. Gibson touched on the expenses that go into that. One of the concerns I have that, are y'all able to do anything creative or innovative in any of these things? Are we ending up getting cookie cutter stuff that doesn't necessarily take advantage of the latest design technology? And are we sacrificing aesthetics, or, are there any other losses in there?
Well, I think every procurement method has its pros and cons, of course, but the limitation to design build is typically that there isn't as much engagement between the architect and engineer with the ultimate client. There's the builder partner, and it's a subprime relationship. So I believe there is some stifling, certainly in that process. If you look at the economics, too, of a design-build project, again, I believe referring back to the AIA Large Firm Roundtable survey of its members, the average fee back to the architect for a federal design-build opportunity, I believe, was $1.4 million.
What a percentage is that is the overall construction cost, and how does that compare to private sector jobs?
Well, Mr. Dalton may know better, but there are stipulations for the fee range, which I believe is up to 6% for federal work for basic services.
So we got you guys down.
Well, and I think rightfully so. But if you look at the cost to compete at anywhere on average or median of $260,000, your expected fee to be $1.4 million, you can see that with more competition, you win fewer projects. Okay. It becomes very difficult to make.
I'm limited on time. We may go a second round of questions, but I do want to address new entrants, small businesses, new contracting firms, new architecture firms. Does the proposed legislation address that, or how can we improve it where we lower the bar for new entrants while still getting quality work for the taxpayers' dollars?
Sir, in my opinion, this bill goes a long ways to providing more clarity and transparency about the system, which will invite more people, allow small firms to compete better. The only next step that could be looked at would be qualifications or quality-based selection in both the first and second steps of the selection process.
All right. Well, I see my time has expired. We'll now recognize Mr. Lynch for his questions.